I know we say this a lot at Drive, but we have been looking forward to driving the car that's sitting behind me. This is the all-new Kia EV6, and it's Kia's first dedicated electric vehicle on its own unique platform. Now, we've been excited by the Hyundai Ioniq 5, we've been looking forward to driving the Kia EV6, and I really do believe, and I say this before I sit in it and take it for a drive, I really do believe that this is the start of the wave of electric vehicles that changes the game for the average Australian buyer. Let's find out if I'm right. Strong demand in overseas markets means that at the moment, only 500 examples of the EV6 will reach Australia in 2022. Kia Australia is in constant contact with head office in the hope that it can increase that number. 2 model grades will be available, Air and GT line, with pricing to start from $67,990 before on-road costs. The range-topping GT line all-wheel drive starts from $82,990 before on-road costs. Sitting between the two is the GT line rear-wheel drive, which starts from $74,990 before on-road costs. The high-performance all-wheel drive GT line packs 239 kilowatts and 605 newton meters by way of 2 engines. Battery range is a claimed 484 kilometres, and 0 to 100 kilometres an hour takes just 5.2 seconds. The entry-grade Air is rear-wheel drive and features a single motor at the rear axle, generating 168 kilowatts and 350 newton meters. Range is claimed to be 528 kilometres, and 0 to 100 kilometres an hour comes up in a still impressive 7.3 seconds. All variants in Australia get the largest battery pack currently available, a 77.4 kilowatt-hour unit. Both models feature 800-volt electrical systems with 350 kilowatt DC fast charging, capable of a 10 to 80% recharge in just 18 minutes. Standard feature highlights include 12.3-inch screens, 19-inch wheels, LED headlights and taillights, dual-zone climate control air conditioning, wireless phone charging and parking sensors. A full suite of safety technology is also standard, including autonomous emergency braking with intersection support, adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, lane following assist, blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert and traffic sign recognition, as well as a centre airbag. We say this a lot at Drive, but let's get one thing out of the way first. Let's not assess the EV6 as if it's a sports or performance car. Let's assess it the way it's supposed to be intended, which is that it's an SUV. This is quite a heavy vehicle. It's effectively an SUV, even though it looks a little bit more like a sedan. It really is like an SUV. And therefore, the way it drives is really quite impressive. Straight away, it's hiding a lot of that weight. It doesn't feel really heavy from behind the wheel. The fact that you don't have, Porsche 911 style steering response doesn't really matter, because I don't think this vehicle or this segment demands it. So I wouldn't count something like that as a negative. I'm really impressed by the ride quality, the bump insulation. We're on a pretty smooth road here, but generally speaking, it deals with bumps without you feeling like it's a big, heavy, rolly sort of vehicle that can't take the bump, settle, and get back to work pretty quickly. As with every electric vehicle we test, there's a myriad of different controls and settings and brake settings, accelerator settings, all the sorts of things you can change in terms of modes to really finely hone the way this vehicle drives to best suit you. So I won't go into all of them now because there's just too many of them to explain in a launch drive and to test properly, to be fair, but there's a lot there for you to be able to customize. And I think Kia's done that deliberately, because this kind of vehicle has the expectation from the buyer that you will be able to do those things. In terms of just the general way that you live with this vehicle around town, it's fantastic. It has to be said that in initial testing, while it doesn't get to its maximum claimed range, especially if you're on the highway or you're doing between 80 and 90 kilometers an hour like we are now, on a hot day with the air conditioning on, it still does quite a good job. You'll get up towards that 400 kilometre mark, around 385, 390 on the highway against the claim, which is pretty impressive because electric vehicles don't do their best work in that sort of environment. Around town, where you get some benefit of stop-start driving, regenerative braking, you actually do see a pretty good return in terms of the range. So I think for those of you who are considering, and it doesn't matter which spec it is, it doesn't matter whether it's entry, mid or top grade, if you're considering buying an electric vehicle, I really don't think you need to worry about the range and the real world range that you're going to get out of the EV6. Let's talk cabin ergonomics and layout. As we'd expect from Kia, they've done a particularly good job with the EV6. It's comfortable, it's really quiet. It's funny, you know, when we shoot videos in these electric vehicles, we have to be so conscious about all the other noise around us because the cabin is so quiet and there's no engine noise to mask anything. So you really do hear everything else that's going on around you, and it's incredibly quiet. We're on a smooth road surface, obviously, but it's incredibly quiet here in the cabin. I think the seating in this top spec model that we're testing here is comfortable and really well executed. The seats are heated and cooled, which I think is a really good option, even in a climate like Australia. You've got massive screens, the driver's display is easy to understand, infotainment is, as we've come to expect from Kia, really easy to use. I still love this single layer control panel here that does both navigation and climate control because it just really cleans that up. The center console area and the gear shift is really neatly laid out. And once again in this vehicle, you do see a lot of the benefits of the electric vehicle platform, given this is a dedicated one too. And the way in which the design of the cabin, the way that you lay things out, gives you a real sense of space and comfort. It feels like a really big airy cabin in here. There's plenty of room. It's comfortable no matter how tall you are. And it doesn't really matter whether you're taking a longer drive on the freeway or you're trundling around town in traffic. The EV6 really is a comfortable place to be. This is, of course, only a short launch drive, and it goes without saying that we look forward to having the EV6 through the Drive garage for longer testing. Don't forget to hit like if you've enjoyed the video and click on subscribe to stay up to date with all of our latest video content. And of course, the review of the Kia EV6 and all our other reviews are over at Drive.com.au. Now, what did we think of the Kia EV6? For me, like I said at the start of this video, I really do think this vehicle has the potential to change the game. First of all, it's a really high quality electric vehicle. It's put together particularly well. Secondly, it's built the way we would expect a Kia to be built, in that the build quality is really good and it's a good thing to drive. I think that makes a difference as well, because if you're changing technology, if you're moving from a traditional vehicle to an electric vehicle, you don't want to get in it and find out that it's a horrible thing to drive. That won't happen with the EV6. It's actually really high quality. So all that's left is for you to let us know what you think of the Kia EV6. Do you think it changes the game? Let us know in the comments section below, and let us know whether it would make you look at an electric vehicle as your next purchase of a new car.